Hey everybody, I am Drak.
And I'm Shadow.
Formerly known as the Fighting Freak Knuckles. Because we have passed it. Knuckles is now a hero. And maybe only in Alex's mind, but in mine as well. We can ignore the porn stash, alright?
Yes, we'll ignore that for now.
Welcome everybody to our Sonic 3 and Knuckles LP, and we're in the last stretch. We are on Death Egg Zone. And we got some things in store for you.
Definitely. It's gonna be a wild ride.
I almost want to go to Lando right there. Hold on to your seat. Hold on to your butts. No, that's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, part.
We're already into movie talk and we're in Sonic. Now, one thing I should probably let people know, this was long and hard coming. And what I mean is, we had lots of tries. You're looking at the finished and polished product, but Death Egg has left its own individual scar on our minds.
It was punishing to Adam. Very punishing.
Very punishing, and so was Doomsday to both of us, especially since we had a bunch of difficulties in the middle of recording it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we eventually get barraged by fans, including, for some reason, we're really good in the dog market. I don't know why. I think at some point, Alex, we're going to do a concert or something. I don't know.
What do you mean dog market?
Well, we had your puppy.
Oh, yes.
Always coming in and wanting to play and wanting to get our autograph. And by autograph, I mean lick us to death.
Oh, yes, yes. Bella kept interrupting us.
Yes, I would just like to point out, his name is Bella. Or her name is Bella. I made a Twilight joke and nobody in her family got it, including my wife, who's a diehard Twilight fan. Because I got told the name, she's like, oh, her name is gonna be Bella. And I'm like, okay, so you pretty much confirmed that Bella would forever be Team Jacob? And even my wife went, what? Exactly! And I'm like, dude, Bella? Really?
I was thinking maybe she did pick it from Twilight, but I guess not.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. Literally, 2 days before, she had just shown me Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Nice.
So yes, I had Twilight on the brain. So I'm like, you really are gonna name this dog Bella? And I thought it was totally your sister nominating the name and all that. She's like, no, I didn't name it. Like, that's surprising. Alright, but enough of the dog naming. Now people will notice we're kind of going a little fast in this. I was actually trying to adhere to the time limit and be able to make the final boss battle run good.
Yeah, it's easy to run out of time here.
Yes. And also the fact that I was impatient for elevators and all that. I'm like a vegan. Uh-oh.
The zero-G chamber.
The zero-G. This group is sick and people can go through my pain as I try to get these going. Because it does take a while. Because you don't have that much control in this area.
You're trying to pretty much manipulate where he's going, but it's kind of all over the place.
So basically what you're saying, Alex, is it's time for physics?
It is time for physics.
And this one I get done perfectly. That was the funniest part. Because I just kind of sit in the same place and get all the buttons. Because I'm special that way.
So super special.
So super special.
There we go.
And now we can go further. Yay! So one of the questions that people might be asking us is if there's anything that we are currently playing. Alex, last time you were talking about Sega Racing Transformed.
Right.
Have you been able to finish that, or is there anything to finish?
Yeah, there's more characters and stages to unlock. I haven't finished it per se, I guess, no.
Be honest with me, have you... Is Wreck-It Ralph is in that game, right?
Yes, Ralph is in the game.
Have you played him?
Yes.
Is he worth it?
He's probably a little difficult to control, but there's always those kinds of racers that have their advantages and disadvantages, and it takes time to learn their control scheme. I'm sure there are people who can totally dominate with Ralph.
Yeah. And here we are at HAL 9000, I mean Robotnik 3000, I don't know. And this is where you get to start noticing a little bit of fail because, well, this is Death Fest after all.
Yep. We just want to
even now, people can't see this off screen, but I can see his fists clenching He's frustrated with how I'm playing it. Yes, I kind of failed at HAL 9000, but I at least was able to get this far. I think I have all the times. Yeah.
Yep, I remember you dying quite a bit.
And the downside is I think we don't have the checkpoint right next to it.
Nope.
No, because we have the gravity chamber. So, yeah, so are you playing anything else currently?
Playing Black and White 2, Pokemon Black and White 2.
Finally got to it. Alright.
Well, I've been playing it for a little while on and off.
Oh, you've been playing, okay.
Yes.
Your sister has. I think your sister's still in tiny.
That's a game I haven't finished because the Elite Four is just punishing in that game.
You mean the difficulty actually ramps up in those games? Who'd have thought?
I know. It actually follows RPG conventions. Who'd have thunk it?
Exactly, because I mean, I can go back to the original Elite Four. They were hard, don't get me wrong, but once you got the type system and getting it all right, then they were not a challenge.
Pretty
All you
much,
had to
yeah.
do was play an endurance contest. So, but here we are talking about Pokemon when we should be talking about Sonic.
Ah, yes.
I swear, I'm gonna put up t-shirts. Drak and Shadow. We'll talk about the game eventually.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
I of course, recently went on a week-long little vacation with some friends and
Just too, because you went on that vacation. We're getting ready to go on another one.
Yes, of course. Now I'm going on a family vacation, with one with friends. I played my friend's Wii for a good while, and I just kind of marathoned my way through Chrono Trigger again on a new game plus. But I didn't quite get to finish Lavos because.
So Chrono Trigger is Virtual Console.
Yes.
That's a good game to power through. The story you never get tired of.
I know, it's so great. And we definitely hope to LP it soon.
We hope to LP it. I just don't know, like, guys, the one thing I might preface with it is that it's got like 30 plus endings.
There's only like 12. No, there's more like 13.
There's more like 13
there's like 13 main endings, and there's just a multiple of ways to sort of affect the outcome of the story just a little bit.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that I don't know if we're going to do all 13 endings. If anything, we'll get an ending, and maybe a second one, and then we'll probably refer others. That's the problem with doing Chrono Trigger. I would love doing Chrono Trigger, but it's got so many endings.
Yeah.
And none of them are really considered a true ending. It's left to the imagination of that.
Yeah, I guess so. It just depends on how you want to play the game. That's another aspect I love about that game.
No, I love Chrono Trigger. Its sequel was not as powerful to me, and that's just because I'm going to talk a little spoilers here. The villain that they use in Chrono Cross, I think ultimately should have been used in Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm. I think they do in the DS version. I didn't play very far into Cross. I kind of got bored with it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that Cross is a good game. Don't get me wrong.
It's well made, yes. In fact, the battle system reminds me of Xenogears.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. The difference, I would think, with Xenogears would be that combat plays like a regular RPG, but the people combat is more combo-based.
Right.
That may be another RPG we have to do, because Xenogears, I don't care what anybody says, that is a gem of the PlayStation era.
I've really got to get myself back to that game.
Yes, you do.
I've been enjoying it, don't get me wrong. I'm just so much of a game juggler.
We should probably point this out. Yes, we know I'm dying. We're trying to calm Alex down because he's still cringing.
Yes.
He's like, you're doing this wrong!
I'm gonna have to reach...
So I'm talking about Chrono Trigger and all that.
You know, we're speaking of Chrono Trigger, so I'm gonna have to reach back in time and strangle past Adam. You're gonna have
to have Luca do it.
You're gonna have to get the epoch or find a time gate.
There you go. But then if you punch me, then Marlene goes out of existence, and then Chrono gets out of existence, and you gotta go revive Chrono.
Don't ever go to Chrono Compendium, I think it's called. It's kind of a wiki for Chrono Trigger and Cross and the whole Chronoverse, and it'll break your brain of how much analysis there is at that site.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, my favorite video, because you've played the game, you know how hard it is to get Chrono back.
Yes.
I love the Dorkly video of why do we even need Chrono? Where like everybody's kind of grouping up on Frog and saying, look, I mean, you're like an absolute perfect leader, Frog. Maybe we should just go with you. You actually talk. And then at the very end, they do, I can't remember who Chrono is with, but he's with somebody that's talking, and all he's doing is blinking his eyes. Blinking your eyes is not talking! Chrono it is, I'm sorry.
That's another RPG staple. The protagonist is always a mute.
Yes, strangely enough, considering that it was a Square RPG, that is not their canon. That's more a Nintendo trope than anything else. The only time when, like, say, the Final Fantasy line has followed the protagonist doesn't talk is in the first game, where there are 4.
Ah, yeah. Okay, now you're playing it sensible.
Now I'm playing it sensible, you know, I've learned all my mistakes. Alex has probably beaten me off screen at this point.
Smash!
I'll do a better, Mr. Wallace, I'll do better. Learn to play Sonic, boo! I just made Alex into Mr. T. Mr. A does not appreciate how you're playing Sonic the Hedgehog, boo! Yeah, we might actually, now that I think about it, we might have to do Chrono Trigger.
Definitely.
We just gotta pick one. Because I would totally go in favor of the PlayStation version with all the anime cutscenes.
Yeah, I would too.
I love that. Alright, now we're through Act 1!
Woo!
It only took us 12 minutes to get there. Alright!
Yeah!
And in the meantime, now you get a little bit of a surprise, guys.
Bye-bye, sign.
So what is the surprise? Well, we're cheaters.
Yes, we unlocked
You
the debug.
can't end this game without Supersonic. I'm sorry. So we did it. We unlocked Hypersonic in this case.
Yep.
And I am totally overloading him with rings. Because that's just my way of doing things. Dude, and we're constantly restarting the music.
We're breaking the game.
We are breaking the game.
Dun 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 dun.
I totally want to go to the Sonic 2. Where's your robot god now?
Yes.
But we can't really do that until the boss. Alright, and just a quick commentary. I love Hypersonic. This is Supersonic well done for the 2D era.
Yeah.
Because he, you know, in the second game where he was a little janky, they fixed all that in this game.
Yeah, they really did.
So he doesn't feel like, you know, he could break the game at some point. I also love the after image, which I think should have been done in 2, but it wasn't. And how it's perfectly him. You almost expect him to start acting like Tails and start doing stuff on his own.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't even possible in 2.
I wouldn't think so. Oh, and I could have hurt myself. Alex probably wanted me to hurt myself. I'm not going to do it. Oh, and I broke the game. No! That's okay, I fixed it. There we go. And down is up and up is down. Okay, guys, this is basically me pressing the wrong button because I'm used to pressing that button.
Right, that's what's a little confusing when you start playing in debug mode.
Yep. Okay, and we're probably about halfway through the stage, and where we should be worried about the time clock, we aren't. We're at 2 minutes. So this, above all, has to be like my favorite Supersonic moment in the 2D era. 3D, we'll get into my true favorite Supersonic moment. And it's so cool. He's not just gold. He's glowing like all these colors, like all the Chaos Emeralds. And this wouldn't be an LP without Alex humming.
That's true. I always kind of wish that the invincibility music didn't continue on through.
Yeah, if it was longer than this, I wouldn't mind, but it loops.
Yeah, I mean, Death Egg music is awesome, man.
That's why in a lot of cases I hail the 3D iterations, because they actually got like full-on 3-minute music themes for the Super.
Yeah, they always pull out the theme just for the occasion.
Yeah, so, you know, Sonic Adventure 2, you got Live and Learn. For Sonic Adventure, you got Open Your Heart.
Oh, hell, even in Sonic 06, they had 2 different pieces. You had sort of a first phase boss music, then you brought out the song. So, 06 for all its flaws, but everybody will admit the music is fantastic. Everything does come back to 06. 2 themes are absolute: 06 and Evangelion. And we always come full circle back to those 2 topics.
Excuse me, I was off mic for a second. I had to go get some headache pills. Because Alex has to go there every time.
Every single time.
And for some reason, I felt the compulsion to go into the DNA stage. I don't know why. But I immediately did.
Yay.
Oh, that's right, because
you
during
wanted
this LP, he was actually saying, can you go past 1,000 rings? And I think I was going to show you can. Because here I am, putting out a bunch of Sonic boxes again.
Oh, Tails, we know you're bored. Get over it.
600. There you go. That's 1,000. That's over 1,000 rings.
It's over 1,000! Overused meme, sorta.
Now, this is another concept I was breaking the game because, you know, normally you would go into these elevators and change the gravity around.
But when you're in the debug mode, you can just hit the button and
yeah,
it will
you can just
invert.
hit the button and gravity is simply our plaything. It's fun to have unlimited power.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of unlimited power, have you heard the rumor, Alex?
What's rumor?
Okay, so, for those who don't know, Star Wars Episode 7 is being cast right now.
Right.
And supposedly out in London, where they're casting, one person has been showing himself quite frequently, like day in, day out. Take a wild guess as to who it is.
Who is it? I don't know. I want to know.
Two words. Unlimited power!
Sorry. No, you lost me.
Ian McDermott has been there.
Ian McDermott.
So there's now possible, speculation as to the Emperor will be alive.
Well, I mean, in a lot of the expanded canon, there's the clone emperors. So,
yeah,
that makes sense.
A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, Ian McDermott, he's coming back!
That would be awesome.
And that, of course, sparked a conversation in my family. My dad's like, I don't think it was Ian McDermott in Return of the Jedi. It totally was.
It was. Yeah.
Ian McDermott, pretty much, he's done other things, but he is known for doing Star Wars.
He wasn't in Empire Strikes Back until the special editions re-edited him in.
Yeah.
It was just an uncredited actor on screen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They just got somebody in makeup. I think it actually was supposedly the original actor for Darth Vader, the tall guy.
David Prowse?
David Prowse. And so all the sitting shots are him.
Oh, interesting.
Because, who wouldn't get angry in fact you're playing one of the most evil roles in High Dive? Even hypersonic can fall!
Well, I don't think it was David who did the Emperor. I know he was upset when he found out.
And this is what happens when you bug it, is that for some reason you get a little hole in the ground.
Yeah, you kind of clip through the floor for some strange reason.
I kept it because it was hilarious.
It is.
So people are wondering, well, why aren't you doing pictures? That's why. Because we don't want to screw it up again. And I'm still caring about the supersonic bosses, and I'm caring about the huge robotic fingers trying to crush me. Now I gotta say, one of the things that's creepiest about that boss is that eye, right there.
Yeah, that is weird.
Okay, because on the right side you have a, Terminator eye, and the other one looks almost like it's real. You're like, oh my gosh, is there a human brain in there, and it's controlling the giant robot? Robotnik harvested his father! Hey, Robotnik, you do it.
Yeah.
Alright, let's give round 2 another go. Where he's trying to kill us with the Master Emerald. I'm sure he definitely appreciated that.
Indeed.
as many hits as I can without dying.
It is really easy to die here, especially if you have Tails, because Tails will hit him and you'll just clip right through.
What I was actually interested in is the fact that as Hypersonic, you get what is considered later a Sonic staple, the homing attack.
Right.
And we'll see that later in the 3D iterations because it became even bigger of a staple. I don't think it was in 3D Blast, but...
No.
I don't think it was, no.
Well, actually, it was kind of in 3D Blast. There was a special shield, there's a gold shield you could get, and it would kind of give you a bit of a homing attack.
Okay.
So...
We gotta move, Alex! We gotta move! Before the floor bugs on us, and then we're gonna be screwed! Here we go! Here we go! We'll get you, Robotnik! We'll get you! And there we go! So since we technically didn't do it right, you almost see the ending here.
Bye bye.
But
Emerald.
we pull a bait and switch on you. So this is going to be the end of this part. Tune in next week as we do
the Doomsday Zone. Yeah.
And we finish this game in epic fashion. Once again, I am Drak.
And I am Shadow.
And we'll see you in a bit.